Hey guys, you know who this is. Apparently, the Ohio legislature is trying to put a lot of limitations on abortion in that state, and as a result, I've scrapped what I had planned to do for my first vlog discussion. I just want to talk about this. I know that abortion is very um, controversial in this country. It's somewhat split 50-50, but obviously, most polls are showing that it's kind of leaning more liberal every day. But it's a pretty controversial thing. So I just wanted to say something that might make some people upset, uh, which is that I get it. I'm willing to listen to and try to understand all facts and beliefs, because a lot of it is based on belief, related to how people view abortion rights in this country. I get that, okay? And I also get the fact that abortion is a deal breaker for many people. I get that, for some people, that's like their number one thing, to such an extent that so many people have supported the murder of doctors that have performed abortion in this country. Let's not. This is just the truth, and people get behind that and they think that's okay and whatever. Clearly, I don't, but that's how passionately I feel about this thing. It's a deal breaker, and I think that what we've learned in this election is that there are certain things that we can consider to be deal breakers that people have as voters. So look, if abortion is your deal breaker and everything else is secondary to you, I get that. Hey, that's your belief, and I always tell people, you don't let anybody make you feel bad about how you feel. But but you should, you can't control your feelings. It's like trying to control intuition or something. I don't know, but you shouldn't apologize for your feelings. But you better be ready to defend them. And you better be able to think to yourself, are those feelings rational? Because a lot of people have a lot of irrational, idiotic feelings, right? But your feelings are your feelings. And if you feel that because I'm pro-choice, that or I'm a liberal, that that's a deal breaker for you, and you don't like me, and you don't like my views, you don't like anything I have to say that comes after that, because that's just like point blank not out for you. I respect that. It's a free country. We live in a blessed democracy with free speech. You can not be friends with me. You could feel however you want, and I would respect that belief, because that's your right. We can have an honest argument about it, a discussion about it, but I will never disrespect your feelings about what are your deal breakers, because that's personal to each person. And I think this election has been a very interesting social experiment about what people's deal breakers are. Um, for instance, look at what I just said, everything I just said, which I believe 100%. But just replace abortion with racism. And now, see, you friends of mine that are watching this, or anybody out there in the world, as soon as I say racism, now you want to turn off because you don't like that word. And if you don't like that word, you want to turn off. I think there's probably a reason for that. But if you look at the logic of what I'm saying, and I know some of you hate logic, but it's the same exact thing. The same way that I fully respect anybody that has certain feelings towards me, or how they want to deal with me, or how they perceive me because I might be pro-choice and they might have a different view. My deal breaker is racism. That's not hyperbolic. It's a thing. But on top of that, there's xenophobia, sexism, ignorance, intolerance in any form. All of these are deal breakers of mine. And I really wish I didn't have to name all of them. And I almost forgot sexual assault. Almost. Any one of these things are deal breakers to me. And I know that there's certain people listening to this that probably have already tuned out. And if you're still listening, then you just hate hearing these things because you're like, here this person goes again. Well, then you're the exactly type of person that I do not really feel like trying to connect to anymore. Because what I'm saying is not hyperbolic. If saying that you are against racism and against xenophobia and against sexual assault and all these other things I'm saying, if that's a turnoff to you, then you have a problem. It should be just a basic thing to understand. Because what you're also thinking is that I'm about to attack you, which is not true. I'm only going to attack one person. And anyone that knows me knows that I've only attacked a person. I've never attacked his supporters ever. I dare you to go back, not dare you, well, challenge you and dare you to go back to anything I've ever posted on the internet. I've never said anything about the people that voted for him to the extent that they were racist or etc. All right? Let's have an intelligent conversation, guys, all right? Come to me. Let's have a conversation, all right? But I'm going to be real with you, and I'm not going to mince words. If you voted for Donald Trump, you voted for a racist and a bigot and a sexist who more than likely committed sexual assault. He's promoted xenophobia. He doesn't like brown people. These are facts. This is not my opinion. And if you disagree with me on those facts, then I'm really shocked that our friendship has lasted this long. Honestly, because all my friends are pretty smart. All of them. And I've had many friends in the world. So I think that what I'm trying to do in relating this to the whole abortion thing is that you have certain things that'll deal breakers, and I get that. So by the same token, just because I mentioned race doesn't mean you need to tune out. Just relate to something that you might understand. Maybe your deal breaker is big government, or maybe it's a lot of taxes. I don't know what your deal breaker is. Okay, all I know is that our deal breakers are different. I didn't say yours or right or wrong, and mine are right or wrong. I'm just saying that my deal breakers are racism, xenophobia, sexism, anything that promotes any kind of equality or tolerates any kind of equality in the world. Those are my deal breakers, and everything else is secondary. If someone had voted for John Kasich, I don't think he's a racist. I disagree with most of his platform. But I would have been cool with him president. I've never gotten sad, very, very sad, over any election in my entire life. But this election is heartbreaking for me. And it's not just because I'm a black man. It's because I'm a human being. So I think this election is a very interesting social experiment because it's more than any election in the in my entire life. I've gotten to actually see, based on just someone's vote, what their deal breakers are. Now, I don't know what's most important to you. I don't know that by your vote. But I know what's acceptable to you. And I may lose some friends over this. I just don't care. Because what that means is that I've learned something about you that I didn't know before. And it really doesn't even matter how long I've known you. And you're going to learn something about me as well. Because you've learned my deal breakers, and I've learned yours. And if you are angry about this, then we were never really, we were friends probably for reasons I never understood. So I'm willing to put that out there because that's how strongly I feel about this. And mind you, I'm not calling anyone a racist. The first thing people want to do when they want to defend voting for Trump is saying, "Oh, we're not racist, whatever, whatever." I never said that. I'm just saying that we have different deal breakers. You might have voted for Trump because you just thought that you didn't like Hillary's emails, or you didn't like Benghazi, or whatever, whatever. Look, that's your right. That's fine. Whatever. All right. Or you just fed into fake news. I don't know. I don't know what your reasons were, and quite frankly, I really don't care because those were priorities ahead of the fact that you voted for a racist. That's your right. And it's my right to feel the way I feel. It's your right to disagree with me on what my priorities are. And it's my right to disagree with you on what your priorities aren't. And I do not have to tolerate his intolerance. I will never, I will treat Donald Trump with the same respect that he treated Barack Obama. Let's put it that way. And yes, it is weeks after the election. I'm still just as angry, if not more angry, because he has revealed himself to me. I mean, he's revealing himself to be exactly the man we thought he was going to be. So, look, you guys won the election. Enjoy. All right? But I'm going to do everything in my power to fight against this guy. I despise this person. I've never said that about any president. I called President Bush President Bush. I've called every Republican president, whatever, fill in the blank. No problem. I respect the office of president. He did not respect my president. I will not respect him. I will never call him Mr. President. And if you want to tune out to everything that I say just because I said that, that's hypocritical, and I don't care. But that's the way it is. That's how I feel. And so be it. Now, if you did not vote for Donald Trump for president and you voted for Republicans up and down the ballot, God bless you. I've got a lot of respect for that. Trust me, and we can talk about that all day, every day. But if you actually voted for Donald Trump and you're a friend of mine, then and you've actually respected the fact that I have not reached out and you have not spoken to me and whatever, I get that because all of you know how passionate I was about this election. And so thank you for respecting my space. Just keep respecting it because I don't know how long it's going to take. It just might take forever. And for a couple of you that are actually writing to me on Facebook talking shit, I have yet to actually defriend people, but I'm about to. Because it's just not worth it to me. I love to have spirited debate in good faith and in good spirit and in good conscience. But I'm very sad to say that I have, just based on this election, I have, and this is, I didn't defriend people in 08. I didn't defriend people in 2012. But I've learned things about friends of mine that I've even known since then that I did not know. And it's so disheartening to me. And I'm not even going to be sad to lose friends over this. And if you're feeling bad about this, think about it. Think about if you disagree with anything I just said. And if you do, then why? Because all I'm saying is that we have different breaking points. That's not controversial. That's equal. We just have different non-starters. For me, racism is a non-starter. And I could just go on that alone. But then there's all that other stuff. And before I close, let me just I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it because I think it's important. What you don't get is that if you voted for Trump, you know, my little nieces, I call them my nieces, they're my cousins' daughters. Uh, they're not more. None of them. They're three of them. Not more. They're not more than 10 years old. Walking around with their mom the week after Trump's election, and some old white guy comes to my cousin and whispers "niggas" into her ear and gestures to her daughters and walks away. And I never use the N-word, ever. It doesn't sound good, does it? That's because of your vote. That's because of your vote that my nieces were called niggers. You think I'm being extreme? Because you don't have to suffer from it. Get mad. Defriend me. Or you can talk to me. I'll even accept an apology. But do not tell me that they deserve that. And don't tell me that I don't deserve to feel the way I feel because of your vote. That's how I feel. If you want to argue with me about it, you better wait until I contact you, and then we can have a discussion. But until then, I want to let you know how I feel. And that's basically it. All right, guys? This is a little bit long. I think it's like, 18 minutes long, but this is what the first thing I had to get out, and I wanted to get it over with because everyone's been asking me, hey, what are you going to talk about in your first... Well, the election, obviously, and that's how I feel. So, but I've got a lot to say about it. But like I said, this is not going to be a political vlog. But come on, what is consuming my thoughts more than this? This is it. But I have many things to talk about, and I'm so glad you guys are there. For any of you guys that have listened to this whole thing, I really appreciate it. I'll try to make them much shorter, but this was important to me. All right? I love you all. Take care.